What's up, guys? Got a UFC video here today. It's going to be on the UFC on Fox 20 card, HOLM versus Shevchenko. So, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the Fox prelims, since I've already done a video on the Fight Pass prelims. You guys can check that out on my channel. So yeah, this video is going to be about the Fox prelims. I will do it in my fight prediction / picks and a little bit of analysis on the fights. So let's go ahead and get started. So first fight on the Fox prelims, and first fight you guys are going to see on TV is Michael Prelims against JC Cottrell. So both these guys like taking down their opponents, and both of them have obviously good wrestling. I give Prelims the edge here on the grappling, like with the submissions, but Cottrell also good submissions. And the better striker here, you know, it's kind of hard to tell. I want to say maybe Prelims here has the better power, but Cottrell here, yeah, they don't really have anything here on his page, but Cottrell has some good striking also. So this is Michael's page here. As you can see, he's coming off a win against Valmir Lazaro, split decision win, got a takedown in that fight. Before that, he lost to Kevin Lee. He landed some takedowns on him, but pretty much Kevin Lee was just too good also. He also landed his own takedowns on him. And then he also beat Marbek Taisumov, who's a fucking beast. And I think that guy's, I want to say he's finishing a lot of people right now. Let me go ahead and check out his page. I know that guy's a fucking savage though. Taisumov. Yeah, look at that. You guys see that shit? You guys see that shit? I know you guys see that shit. Look at that shit. Look at that. First fight in the UFC, he gets a decision win. His next fight against Michael, he loses, and look at that. And then he goes on this hot streak. First round knockout, second round knockout, second round knockout, first round knockout. Now, some of those guys that he's fighting aren't really big names or anything, but this is a scary guy right now. So anyways, he beat him, and he also beat some other guy, Ronson, I don't really know who that is, and he lost to Pablo Thiago. So that's some info there on Mitchell. Or yeah, Mitchell, not Michael, Mitchell. JC Cottrell, there's no page here or no info here on his page, but from what I read about him and from what I've seen in his fights, you know, his striking, I would say, is average. He likes using takedowns, you know, likes slamming his opponents, you know, taking them down to the ground, likes using some ground and pound, you know, looks like he goes for submissions also. I mean, as you can see, this guy has lots of submissions on his record. But I've seen the guys he's fighting, guys, and this guy's not fighting like high level guys or anything. Also, they're saying he's like a featherweight, but then, you know, he's fought, I think, as high as 170, and, you know, I think he mostly fights at a lightweight, but I'm not too sure about that. But I know he's ranked high at featherweight, like in his area or whatever. I think I was looking at his page on the tapology.com or whatever. Anyways, yeah, he hasn't faced really good competition, guys. I was checking his opponents' records, and some of them got negative records. Some of them just, you know, pretty much the guys he's faced, you know, he's faced lower level competition. The thing about Mitchell here, he's fought high level competition. I mean, he's fought Kevin Lee, a good prospect right now. I think Kevin Lee's coming off like a first round knockout too, against Jake Matthews, who's a beast. I didn't even see that fight, but, you know, apparently he was able to finish him in the first round. And then, you know, he also has that win against Taisumov, who's a lot better than fucking Cottrell. So, you know, this guy's fighting way better talent. Also, Cottrell's coming in short notice. So with all that stacked against him, guys, I'm going with Mitchell. And I say Mitchell here is going to have a dominant win here with his takedown game. Both these guys are good wrestlers, especially Prelims with his strength. And I know Cottrell has good wrestling. So maybe the wrestling will cancel each other out. But, I mean, Mitchell, if he wants to take you down, you know, he'll find a way to take you down. If we look at his opponents, I mean, at his pager, he always gets a takedown. You know, in all his fights, it looks like he's always getting a takedown every fight. So this guy, he wants a takedown, he's gonna get it. He's gonna work his ground game, his jiu-jitsu game, or just, you know, beat you up on the ground. Cottrell has good wrestling. He might be able to cancel it out for a bit, but I think Mitchell's gonna be too persistent. Now, the other thing about Mitchell is it seems like, you know, he has a lot of muscle. He's a shorter guy for the weight class. He's like 5'6", so, you know, he's stocky and whatnot. So the thing about him is Striking's not super good, but it looks like it's improving a bit. But still just throws, you know, big looping punches. And also his gas tank doesn't seem like it's too good. And maybe Cottrell could take advantage here, but then Cottrell's coming in short notice. So, you know, there's just too much things stacked against Cottrell here. So for that, I'm going to have to go with a more experienced fighter and the fighter who's fought way better competition, which is Mitchell. So I'm going with Mitchell to win this fight. And like I said, I think he's going to get a decision win here. Moving on to the next fight, Kamaru Usman against Alexander Yevlov. So Usman, really good fighter. Only has one loss in his record. As you can see by his stats right here, shit ton of takedowns, and he always, more than likely, always gets them. More than half the time he gets the takedowns. So this guy's explosive with his takedowns. His striking is also not too bad. Has a shit ton of knockouts in his record. So this guy has some power in his hands. And then we look at Alexander here. Good fighter, good striker, good grappler. Not as explosive with his takedowns, but you know, finds his way to get them or whatever. Look at Kamaru's page here anyway. Summary: striking and grappling. I think he's training out of over there and training over there at Black Zillions anyway. From when I was watching the Leon Edwards fight, they were talking about that Black Zillions. So you can see against Leon Edwards, a good striker. He landed six takedowns on him. And then before that, he beat some guy named Hader Hassan, and he landed 6 takedowns on him before finishing him in the second round with a submission. 2010 NCAA D2 national champion. This guy obviously good wrestling, 3-time NCAA All-American, 5 wins by knockout, 1 by submission, arm triangle. So this guy, he really likes pretty much just taking you down and really just beating you up on the ground. But his striking also, from my scene, is also not too bad. Here's Alexander's page. Summary: intellectual fighter. He's a pretty tall welterweight, 6'3". He's coming off a first round knockout, guys, against George Sullivan. Now I remember picking this fight, and I forgot who I picked. I want to say I picked Sullivan, but at the same time I want to say I picked Yevlov. I think I ended up going with Sullivan because I thought the striking would be too good or whatever. But yeah, Sullivan ended up getting caught with a nasty right hand, and he got finished. So yeah, that was something I really have not seen from Yevlov in his UFC career so far. As you can see, if he wins or loses, you know, it's mostly all by decision. So that was his first finish in the UFC. Very impressive finish. So about Yevlov, let me check out his opponents. So Sullivan's a striker. He was able to finish him. Against Gray Maynard, he beat Maynard barely. Looks like he's on 10 more strikes. He lost to Nico Musuke and David Maya, very good grappler. So the way I see this fight going is I see this fight being taken to the ground by Usman, guys. I think Usman's going to be too strong. This guy looks like a really strong fighter and has excellent wrestling and takedown skills and explosiveness. Should be able to get Yevlov down to the ground. I mean, especially if Maynard could take down Yevlov, I'm pretty sure Usman could take him down. Now, that was Alexander at 155, so, you know, obviously Alexander's feeling a lot more fresher here at 170 now. But I still see Usman taking him down. Yevlov does have some good takedown defense, but, you know, I just think Usman's wrestling game is going to be a little bit too much. I think he's going to be very, like, aggressive with the takedowns. You know, I think he's going to be putting the pressure on him. Alexander, this guy's like a counter striker. When he caught Sullivan with that punch, it was just like with a counter. I think it was like just like a. I think he threw a 1-2. He threw a 1, then obviously the 2, right? The right hook, and then, you know, he just knocked Sullivan out pretty much. But yeah, this guy's a counter striker, so maybe Usman might get caught with a few punches, but I think Usman here should be able to take him, and I think he should go, you know, for the takedown and should be able to get the takedowns pretty much, guys. This guy's gonna be using his takedown wrestling game. And I really wanted to give Yevlov here a chance, maybe, you know, get another first round finish or another knockout or something. But I think Kamaru here is just way too good with his wrestling. And yeah, guys, I'm gonna have to go ahead and go for Usman. And I think Usman also gets a dominant decision win here. Moving on, Darren Elkins against Godofredo Pepe. So let's go ahead and talk about this fight. Alright, so continuing here, guys. Elkins versus Pepe. Let's go ahead and open up their pages. Now, guys, Darren Elkins here has been looking pretty good lately. This page loading up. Submarine, great condition. Obviously, this guy's excellent cardio. Good wrestler, good ground and pound. This guy's very relentless with his ground and pound. So his last win and his last fight, which was really impressive, was against Chas Skelly. Chas Skelly, I thought would win this fight. I remember picking Skelly on this one. I think Skelly was the favorite also. But yeah, I thought Skelly with his jiu-jitsu game and obviously his great wrestling also would be able to pretty much counter Elkins wrestling. But as you can see, Elkins landed 7 takedowns on him and landed a shit ton of strikes. So that was a very bad pick of me there. Pretty much Elkins looked really good, just like his fight before that against against Rob Whittaker. Whittaker, guys. Here's Rob Whittaker's page in case you guys want to see it real quick. Chin of granite, hits like a train. I want to say this guy's out of the UFC now, but yeah. Anyways, Elkins really dominated Skelly there. Shit ton of strikes. Look at that, over 100 strikes, 7 takedowns. This guy really put it on him. Now we look at Godofreda's page, summary ground game. This guy has excellent jiu-jitsu. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, Jiu-Jitsu Brazilian champion, Pan American, Brazil Cup, 13-time champion of the Northeast, 15 times champion of Sarah. So, as you can see, this guy just loves first round finishes. And he also loses in the first round, and he loses by knockout. So I think his chin isn't super good. He got knocked out by Cecilia, a power puncher, and then Felipe Arantes. I think he also has good power. But now he's on this 3-fight win streak. All wins, but in the first round, 2 by submission and 1 by knockout. He knocked out Noah Lahat. Tapped out Deshaun Johnson, but that guy really had no ground game. This guy's like a boxer turned into an MMA fighter. So I don't know, what to really think about that win. But then he tapped out Andre Philly, and I think I remember this fight, and I picked Philly, and I think he just ended up getting caught pretty bad. He just ended up getting caught with that submission. But now, the way I see this fight going, guys, I want to say this fight's gonna be on the ground, guys. And on the ground, I think it's gonna be dangerous for Elkins because of Pepe's submissions and obviously really good jiu-jitsu. But I think Elkins is just so good, guys, with the pressure. I mean, this guy's been looking really good recently. Has not been tapped out since 2010 against Charles Oliveira. So this guy, has been pretty safe so far. But has he fought, let's see, some higher level jiu-jitsu guys? Other than Oliveira, since then, Stevens, Martins, Hatsu, Hioki. I want to say this guy has some good submissions. Hakron Diaz. Yeah, I don't think he's fought anybody super good with jiu-jitsu since Oliveira. So maybe Pepe here, someone who's also really good with jiu-jitsu, might be able to catch him, guys. But I just think Elkins been looking too good. And even though Fredo here seems like really like a value pick, because obviously this guy, for DraftKings especially, this guy has shit ton of first round finishes, but he also has first round losses. But yeah, this guy's takedown defense is not super good, and I do see Elkins taking him down, guys, and I see him taking him down repeatedly. Also, Elkins' striking has improved. His boxing looks a lot better in that Chas Skelly fight. So guys, I'm gonna have to go with Darren Elkins here. Who knows, maybe Pepe might catch him in the first round, but I think Elkins could get the job done here, guys. And I kind of see this being a third round TKO finish or knockout for Elkins here, guys. I think he's just gonna be putting it on him on Pepe, just taking him down repeatedly and landing a shit ton of strikes, and eventually he's gonna get that finish probably in that third round. So third round TKO, and I'm going with Elkins. Featured fight here for the Fox Prelims, Frankie Sains and Eddie Wineland. Let's go ahead and open up their pages, guys. So, Frankie Sains' page right here, or signs, whatever you guys want to call it. Summary: mental toughness, cardio, and well-rounded. This guy's getting a little bit older now, 35 years old, 66-inch reach. His last fight was against Uriah Faber. Before that, he was on a 3-fight win streak in the UFC, beating Nolan Tickman. I don't really know anything about that guy. He beat Yuri Alcantara, who's a really good fighter. Beat him with the takedowns, pretty much, it looks like. And then he beat Sirwan Kakai, and I want to say that guy was pretty good also. Let me go ahead and open up his page. Yeah, I think this guy was a pretty good fighter though. Anyways, he beat that guy also, but then he lost to Uriah Faber. Obviously, Faber. It's hard to beat Faber, you know, unless the only time you beat Faber seems like is if you're like a champion, pretty much. But he didn't do bad against Faber though. That was pretty good performance, even though he lost. Let's go ahead and look at Eddie Wineland. Now Wineland here has not been looking too good, guys. That's just something I got to say right off the bat. Summary, KO power, striking. He also has wrestling. Really good defensive wrestling. This guy like rarely ever gets taken down. Excellent takedown defense, especially because he keeps his hands down a lot, which makes it very easy for him to really like stuff those takedowns. So his last fight in the UFC was against Brian Caraway, and I remember picking Wineland in this fight, and I thought he was just gonna run through Caraway, and yeah, ended up Caraway just winning this fight. And Caraway didn't even land a single takedown, guys, and he was still able to beat him standing. So Wineland just it seemed like he just really was too hesitant in that fight. He landed, you know, the strikes are very close, but you know, it was a clear-cut win for Caraway. And yeah, Wineland just, you know, seemed like he wasn't just all there in that fight. Before that, he got knocked out against Eduardo. I think he had like a broken jaw or whatever. That was a vicious knockout. And then before that, he beat Yves Jaboyne. And obviously before that, he lost to Barao. I think you guys remember that spinning back kick when Barao was just beating everybody up. Yves Jaboyne, is this guy still in the UFC? Yeah, I want to say he's not in the UFC anymore. Anyways, he beat him, so that's a lower level fighter there. His last win was against a lower level fighter. Now he's fighting Sains, kind of like one of these up and comers, kind of ish. Did lose to Faber, but before that he was on a 3-5 win streak. So Sains here, he's kind of similar to Faber, wrestler, you know, that can do it all. You know, good striking, very good cardio. You know, he's well rounded. He has really good leg kicks. He really showcased that in the Faber fight. And he's fighting against Wineland here, who's really just a good boxer. Also has some good leg kicks himself, though. So, guys, do you want to go with someone a little bit more consistent and Sains here, or do you want to go for Wineland and, you know, maybe he gets this gets a win again after not getting a win for a while? So, I see this fight staying on the feet. As, like I said, Wineland has such excellent takedown defense. Look at that. He never gets taken down, guys. Caraway couldn't take him down. Obviously, Eduardo wouldn't really want to take him down. Brow didn't take him down. Pickett, good boxer slash wrestler, didn't take him down. Jorgensen, good wrestler, didn't take him down. So, I mean, does that mean Sains can't take him down? Well, I mean, not really, but I mean, I'm pretty sure Sains could take him down, but you know, I just think Wineland has such good takedown defense that he's gonna be able to keep it on the feet, guys. And yeah, I'm just gonna have to go ahead and go with the underdog here, guys. I'm going with Eddie Wineland. I think if he does not win this fight, then I'm not gonna pick him no more. And I think he's gonna be done if he does not win this fight. I think he's gonna have to go for it, especially since his last fight against Caraway, where he didn't go for it. He was very hesitant with his striking. Should have really let his hands go a lot more. And I think Sains here is a good matchup for him. Sains, you know, obviously he wants to get the fights to the ground, but on the feet, it doesn't seem like he's like shy of like striking either. Like it seems like he likes to stay on the feet also and strike. So, you know, especially since Wineland has that excellent takedown defense, I really see this fight staying on the feet, and I see Wineland I would say just getting a decision win here, guys. I think he's just gonna get back on track, and I think he gets a decision win here, or maybe a late finish. Let's go ahead and just say Wineland by decision. Alright, guys, so those are my picks. I got Mitchell here winning by decision, Usman by decision, Elkins third round knockout, and finally underdog pick here, Eddie Wineland getting a decision, but it could also maybe be a late finish. But I see him winning by decision though, guys. Just out striking Sains on the feet. Alright, guys, so that's it for my video. Stay tuned for the next one, and if you guys haven't joined DraftKings, join now. Link is below in the description. Alright, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.